Hello, good morning. Hello. 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 Good morning. Hello. पहिले ऑनलाइन सेम होतं आपलं बोलणं पण सेम असतं ओके गायकवाड सरांचं झालं ना त्यानंतर Good morning everyone. We have started the online streaming of our program. We will start the program in 5 minutes. Good morning everyone and warm welcome to everyone present here. Myself Prathamesh Gurav
and myself Isha Mari. We are all gathered here for the prize distribution ceremony of academic year 2020-21.
I feel very honored to welcome amongst us Dr. G.N. Kulkarni, Director of Pimpri Chinchwad College of Engineering, Pune, Dr. T.R. Kale, Dean, Student Development and Welfare, Dr. Sheetal Kumar Ravandhare, Dr. Janvi Namdar, Dr. A.K. Gaikwad, Associate Dean, Mrs. Rushali Bhalera.
शुभम करोति कल्याणम आरोग्यम धन संपदा शत्रुबुद्धि विनाशाय दीपक ज्योति नमस्ते. Salutation to the light of lamp which brings auspiciousness, health and prosperity.
With this, I would like to invite Dr. G.N. Kulkarni, Dr. P.R. Kaye, Dr. A.K. Gaikwad, Dr. Mrs. Rushali Bhalera to please light the auspicious lamp. I would like to invite Malla for Saraswati Vandana.
या कुन्देन्दुतुषारहारधवला या शुभ्रवस्त्रामृता या वीणावरदण्डमण्डितकरा या श्वेतपद्मासना या ब्रह्माच्युतशङ्करः प्रभृतिभिर्देवैः सदा वन्दिता सा मां पातु सरस्वती भगवती निःशेषजाड्यापहा.
Thank you everyone and thank you Malak for the Saraswati Vandana.
Thank you everyone. I would like to invite on stage Dr. G.N. Kulkarni for giving the welcome speech and addressing our gathering.
My dear students and my colleagues and dignitaries, on behalf of PCCOE, I welcome you all to this auspicious prize distribution ceremony. In last 1.5 years, we faced an unprecedented situation of COVID. In this, we could not work to our full extent with full energy. Every experience was new. Teaching experience was new. Learning experience was new. It was new to my student friends. It was new to my colleagues also. There were many challenges of quality. Basically, many people from community questioned our quality. We faced the challenges of quality. In spite of that, we at PCCOE endeavor our best to deliver quality and to deliver the content with our fullest extent. We tried to address these challenges through one initiative called COVID Task Force. So PCCOE faculty and all staff, they gathered together and formed a team called COVID Task Force, and that COVID Task Force did a wonderful thing in this. Again, there was one campaign which we conducted, Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving to all the workers who strived to fight against COVID. For example, personnel from police department, personnel from hospital, health department, and personnel from PCMC. So these two initiatives we could begin and successfully complete. We put our efforts sincerely and we did our best to train the students in this difficult period. The results of these efforts were encouraging. Just to give an example, our Red Baron team, it brought laurels to us by becoming the 10th team in the world. It is a Baha team, so it is not an ordinary achievement in this difficult period. Besides this, recently our team Automata also secured 4th position at All India level in the Robocon competition. So again, on the background of this difficult situation, students are still bringing laurels to the institute. My students are best. They are very good. They are very good in online mode. Then you can imagine how offline mode they will perform. So today we are finding an opportunity to appreciate the achievements of some of our friends, student friends, through prize distribution. I congratulate all the friends who have secured the academic positions and who have secured the positions in sports. So I congratulate my heart who have bagged the prizes in academics. And I congratulate especially to all the remaining students who could not get to that academic number. We always say that the academic position or maybe marks may not be sufficient. They are not sufficient for success in your career. The mantra which I would like to give you all today and aim is just now we had a prarthana. In that prarthana there is one word called Arogyam Dhanasampada. Never be this Arogyam Dhanasampada slok has been appropriate. So I request all my friends who are attending this prize distribution ceremony and who are attending, all my colleagues who are attending, keep your health sound. Automatically, your mind will be sound. And when your mind is sound, you can achieve anything in the world. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for such a warm welcome. Your words have surely motivated us, and it has given a unique and fresh start to our year. Thank you, sir.
A leader is one who lies the path to the impossible and and takes those who follow to great heights. And keeping these lines in mind, we have among us our idol of inspiration and mentor, Dean of Student Development and Welfare, Dr. P.R. Kare sir, who has worked endlessly with the team in the pandemic situations through online mode and supported us throughout. Now, I request sir to give a glance about student development and welfare activities.
Good morning, all. Now today's chief guest, Mr. Achyut Gorpal sir, he will be joining soon. Then special invite is Colonel Gagan Rana. He is also joined. He has joined. Just the dignitaries, all HODs, deans, faculties, teaching, non-teaching staff. On behalf of SDW, Student Development and Welfare, I would like to welcome you to this moment, important moment, for celebrating this achievement of the students. That is the award ceremony of the last year. Now, annual day is a celebration that showcases the achievements of the entire year. And of course, it is the most awaited program for the student as well as for the parents. It is very important, it is very essential to conduct this activity because of these functions or because of this function, student is motivated, then inspired, and so this function is very essential. And in this pandemic situation, we have decided to conduct this activity in any cost. We were also trying for the cultural activities, but it was impossible. But in this pandemic situation, we have decided, and on this important day or memorable day, we have decided to conduct this. Now, to make this memorable day, the Student Development Welfare conducted different activities throughout the year. We have different cells. There are 9 cells, and all these 9 cells perform or completed their objectives for the excellence of the students. Now, in these activities, the main important activities that we have conducted, that is the skill development, excellence for the skill development, then personality development, professional activities, professional developments, then some cultural activities we have conducted, then societal commitment that we have performed, and particularly for this societal commitment, we have conducted one important activity, that is कोविड-19च्या पार्श्वभूमीवर मानवी मूल्यांचे संवर्धन तसेच जागरूकता. This event we have conducted and we got a huge response for this event. Actually, this concept was given by Professor and the director has flourished this event, and just we have implemented and we got good response from the participants. On the same ground, now we are again performing one good program. We are achieving we are doing some one important program, and that is initiated by Government of India, Azadi Ka Amrut Mahotsav. On the same ground, it is almost same. Now, to demonstrate PCCOE's solidarity in this initiative, PCCOE has announced an event that is Azadi Ka Amrut Mahotsav, 75 jewels in the crown of India, 75 jewels in the crown of India, and that will be launched on the 2nd October of 2021. Of course, we have many challenges. We are facing ups and downs, but still, all my colleagues, cell in charges, have achieved all these activities, completed all these activities, and therefore I am very much thankful to all these my colleagues, and the same cooperation will be continued for the next year, and I accept they will cooperate me and will be continued for the next academic year. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Felicitation is inspiration to others and motivation to whom we are felicitating.
This is a much awaited event in every student's life. It gives a returns to the efforts put in by them throughout their academic endeavor. It gives a sense of achievement and a sense of responsibility towards fulfilling their further commitments.
With this, I would like to invite on stage Dr. A.K. Gaikwad, Dean, Associate Dean, Student Development and Welfare, for briefing about the prize distribution ceremony of academic year 2019-2021.
Well, good morning, one and all. I hope I'm audible, and warm welcome also. I will not say now respected dignitaries, but yes, all the respected gurus, offline and online dignitaries. Today's program, for which we are gathered together here, is annual prize distribution ceremony, which from last 19 to 20 years I'm working with this college, and I find this program is with a huge people. Our college lawns are not sufficient, but due to this COVID situation, we are arranging this in a small gathering today. To start with, today's chief guest, Sri Achyut Godbole sir, who have joined online, Colonel Rana sir, who have joined online, Honorable Director sir, G.N. Kulkarni sir, Dean of Student Development and Welfare, Dr. P.R. Kale sir. या प्रोग्रामचे प्रमुख अतिथी असं म्हणून किंवा या प्रोग्रामचे सर्वे मिसेस भालेराव मॅडम, डेप्युटी डायरेक्टर चोपडे सर, डॉक्टर जानवी इनामदार मॅम, रिप्रेझेंटेटिव्ह फ्रॉम अवर ट्रस्ट, all deans, head of the departments, faculty members, academic coordinators, students, and their parents who have joined online. I welcome you all for this gathering. Yes, every year when it is 2021, the list of 1920 or maybe sometimes of 18-19 batch students who are topper at university level, the list is declared maybe 1 or 2 years backdated. In that sense only, few of the students we have identified which are very close to the college vicinity, and they are representing these presentations for the university, and all other students will be joining on online mode. Yes, as Director Sir have very rightly pointed, this is new for all of us to arrange such a program in small gathering, but it's a need of time, and taking care of all COVID-19 situations, we have to do this. This prize distribution is from 2015-16, 17-18, 19 and 20 students who have grabbed or who have been topper rank holders at university and department level. So for the almost 5 years, we are distributing the prize for three folds, rather I will say. The first fold is Savitribai Phule Pune University. Pune University SPTU's rank holders who are either the branch topper or overall topper in the university. And I'm very happy, very glad and very proud to tell that the number is 194. It's a huge number. These 194 students from PCCOE who were toppers, if I bifurcate them, yes, May 19 exam, there were 74 students, 38 students from May 18 exam, 37 students from May 17 batch, 32 students from May 16 batch, and there were 13 students who are the university topper from May 15 batch. I must make a special mention about two students who are overall topper of the university. They are ranked first holder for first year engineering in 2018 and 2019 respectively. That is Ms. Neha Tipse and Mr. Naveen Hugar, who was 2018 and 2019 May examination overall first year engineering toppers. So I feel there is a round of applause for this. The second four to whom we are felicitating today is the departmental topper, mechanical, civil, E&C, computer, IT, MCA, and FE. We are felicitating the department toppers for first year, second year, third year, and final year, and PG also. Yes, the number is again 59 students who have grabbed this opportunity today to felicitate. From FE, we are giving the prizes for first 5 toppers, whereas for SE, T, B, and MCA department, we are felicitating only the first and second topper, whereas for PG program, we are feliciting the first topper of PG programs. Whereas, yes, academics is always there, it is the backbone of education, but with that, PCC is nevertheless to give an opportunity platform to the students for showcasing their extracurricular activities. Yes, here also, I am very proudly saying that there are 9 teams who have grabbed this opportunity at national and international levels. Those 9 teams, I would like to make mention of their names. The team Kratos, that is Supra, Formula Bharat Electronics. It was the competition and students, that team has ranked the first position. Team SAE Tiffin, first at national level. Team Technovus, it was Akriti 2020 event. They grabbed the first rank. Team 3D printer in KPIT Sparkle. Smart India Hackathon, there were 2 teams who have won the first prize from PCCOE. TDCS Eureka 2020, yes, there were 2 teams from PCCOE who have grabbed the first rank. And the last team, the 9th one, was the ACM student chapter, who has won. The student chapter also has won the first prize at national level. So these are the 3 folds wherein we are going to felicitate the students. You will find many of the names of the students are repetitive. That is really a great challenge for the student also to be a topper. You will find the names are coming again and again because they are topper at SE, T, and B. Of course, this is because of their hard work and dedication. There is a quote, rather, success doesn't come to you. You have to go to it. And it requires the hard work. It is not only the study during the PLs, it is the continuous study. This is what it is required. So I congratulate all these students for being the toppers consistently, many times, to all their students, faculty members, mentors, and their parents for motivating the students. Always. I wish you a very good luck for all your future tenures. But with this, yes, all the other students who could not make it this time, I wish a good luck that yes, your name will be over there next time. Yes, you may not be, or you have to fight a battle more than once to be over there as one of the topper. With this, I end up with, and I wish you a very good luck. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Every year, we all witness this felicitation program in each other's company, but the pandemic had different plans for us this year. Due to the restrictions of community gathering, we are not allowed to gather in a group of more than 50 people. And also, there are restrictions on traveling. So, we reached out to the localized students who had secured their ranks in University Toppers list, and they were invited for this program. And all the other toppers have joined us through online meeting. And these students will be getting their prizes and certificates at their respective places.
Every year, university releases rank list of topper students. And I feel very proud to share with you that every year our students have worked hard along with their mentors and secured their places in university rankers list. Isha, do you remember the felicitation event of year 2019?
Yes, I remember all those enthusiastic faces of our achievers. Though this year the pandemic has turned the tables, but still I can see the students have joined us through online meeting, and it has surely not impacted the enthusiasm of our achievers.
With this, let's move towards the online felicitation program of academic year 2021. I request Akshay sir to start the online felicitation program. As briefed by Ajay Gaikwad sir, I feel very honored to tell you that every year the number of students has increased in the university rankers list. For the department toppers, we select 5 toppers from first year engineering, and we select from second year, third year and fourth year engineering, first and second topper from the respective branches. For the post-graduation program, first topper is selected from FYME and SYME for all the departments. Now moving towards the MCA department, first and second topper of FY, SY and TY is being selected.
I'm very proud to share that total 194 university there are 194 university rankers, and 59 students are at various positions as department toppers in the academic year 2019-20. And 9 teams are being felicitated with cash prize for special achievement at national and international levels.
Let's start with the online felicitation of first year engineering department. For first year engineering department, I would like to give special congratulations to Neha Tipse, who has secured first rank in year 2018 and has secured pointer 10. And also to Naveen Muga, who has secured first rank in year 2019 and has secured 10 pointer. Moving towards the second rank, Dipti Shinde, Dipali Taude has secured second rank in year 2016 and 17. For third rank, we have Pradnya Nayak, Mohit Gurkule, Ganesh Shinde. Ashu Gupta, Mahendra Vaibhav, Sanket Bhandari, Vaishnavi Thakur and Srishal Kumbhar.
स्क्रीन शेअर करून द्या सर. हां करला दे शेअर करते.
दिसत नाहीत मुलांना असं दिसतं.
आता दिसतं. आलं झूम वरती
कंट्रोल एल केलं.
ओके.
For third rank, we have Harsh Singhal. For fourth rank, we have Shashank Kalbo, Dinesh Bachchani, Disha Shinde, and Suraj Vishwakarma. For fifth rank, we have Vivek Gulani, Akash Bagde, Komal Nayak, Shubha Patil, Prajakta Bhosle.
For fifth rank, we have Akash Kanade, Dhanashri Manoj, Luis Kondikeril, Saurabh Jadhav, Bhavansh Gupta. For fifth rank, again we have Vijay Patil, Harish Dalal. For sixth rank, we have Saili Khare, Suraj Ranware, and Pooja Chaudhary.
For sixth rank, we have Snehal Naikar, Vijay Sharma, Bhavesh Gulabni, Vishal Sonami. For seventh rank, we have Rushikesh Gate, Alka Chaudhary, Shubham Nesargi, Aishwarya Bodnare, Sakshi Gupta, Saurabh Gomle.
For 7th rank from year 2019, we have Pradyumna Joshi and Swapnil Valekar. From 7th rank from year 2019, we have Kaustubh Ingre, Jitendra Joshi, Manjit Singh Hirase, and Amit Kherdekar, Rutuja Chavre, Apurva Jatta, and Abhishek Dadiwal.
For 8th rank, we have Pratik Pawar, Swaraj Shedke, Pooja Mamge, Pratik Kue, Manish Tongapur. Again for 8th rank, we have Anil Gagre, Nikhil Nayak, Rajnandan Desai, Rutuja Nemani, Neelkant Sawant.
For 8th rank, we have Mehul Lokhande, Umesh Nangargi, Gaurav Bhongde, Neelkant Sawant, and Disha Shetty. For 9th rank, we have Janvi Kinkar, Sushant Patil, Prajwal Dandwar, Aditya Kulkarni, and Ramya Joshi.
For 9th rank, again we have Ajinkya Medekar, Nupur Kulkarni, Prem Kumar, Harshvardhan Saugule, Sneha Biradar. For 10th rank, we have Akash Nandargi, Shubham Khule, Abhishek Nalavde, Barkat Mukadam, and Prajwal Shila.
For 10th rank from year 2019, again we have Omkar Biranje, Samadhan Dorge. For 10th rank in year 2019, we have B. Shiv Kumar, Shubham Chayekar, Ashish Kulkarni, and Saloni Ta. I feel very glad to share with you that from your first year engineering, total 87 students have secured their places in university rankers list. Heartiest congratulations to all the achievers.
Now, moving to the college toppers of FE Department of 2019, Yash Ashtikar has secured first rank, Palak Gupta has secured second rank. For third rank, we have Dipali Javia, Tejas Bode, Khushi Desarda. For fourth rank, we have Mridula Kulkarni, and Nikhil Sadaf has secured fifth rank.
Moving towards the university toppers of computer department, for second rank, we have Bhavesh Gulabani. For third rank, Mohit Gurkule. For fourth rank, Prajakta Bhosle. For sixth rank, Aishwarya Bornare. For seventh rank, Ajinkya Patil. For eighth rank, Shalaka Bam and Saini Nanda. For eighth rank, Dipti Shinde. For ninth rank, Sakshi Gupta, Ajinkya Medekar. And for 10th rank, Neha Tipse.
Now, moving to the college toppers of computer department. In second year engineering, we have Mehul Lokhande, who has secured first rank, and Harsh Singhal has secured second rank. In third year engineering, Sakshi Gupta and Ajinkya Patil have secured first rank, and Neha Tipse has secured second rank. In last year engineering, Saili Khare has secured first rank, and Anurag Kulkarni has secured second rank.
Moving towards the university toppers of IT department, for second rank in year 2017, we have Ruchika Kankaria. She has also secured second rank in year 2019 and third rank in year 2018. Special congratulations to Ruchika Kankaria. For third rank, we have Rushal Chaudhary. For fourth rank, we have Pooja Marnu. For sixth rank, Priyanka Jagdale. For eighth rank, Sana Zamdar. For ninth rank, Pooja Marnu.
Now, moving towards the college toppers of IT department. In second year engineering, Ganesh Labade has secured first rank, Shraddha Gaware has also secured first rank, and Apurva Jatlap has also secured first rank. Then Nupur Kulkarni has secured second rank. In third year engineering, Rushal Chaudhary has secured first rank, and Sahil Singh has secured second rank. In last year engineering, Pooja Marnu has secured first rank, and Kiran Bagate has secured second rank.
Moving towards the university toppers of mechanical department, for third rank we have Prajwal Shela, for fifth rank Shreyash Khedekar, for eighth rank Priya Yadav, Akshay Vaksavre, Balasaheb Nimgere, for ninth rank Barkat Mukadam, for third and ninth rank in year 2018 and 2019 Nilesh Sabre, for 10th rank Omkar Chaskar, for 10th rank Pratik Wagmare, Balasaheb Nimgere. Congratulations to all the achievers.
Now, moving towards the college toppers of Mechanical Department. In second year engineering, Nikhil Somvanshi and Shreya Gunjar has secured first rank and Saurabh Sadhak has secured second rank. In third year engineering, Azhar Mujawar has secured first rank and Omkar Chaskar has secured second rank. And in last year engineering, Chetan Dhanuka has secured first rank and for second rank we have Shreyash Kelkar.
Moving towards the university toppers of ENTC department, for third rank we have Ankita Yadav, for sixth rank Shweta Amrutkar, for sixth rank Komal Nair, for eighth rank Rutuja Chauhan, for ninth rank Dinesh Bachchani. For ninth rank we also have Rutuja Chauhan in year 2019.
Now, moving towards the college toppers of ENTC department, in second year engineering, Harshada Khilari has secured first rank and for second rank we have Pratik Punekar. In third year engineering, Shardul Tiruvadkar has secured first rank and for second rank we have Rohit Rao and Yadav Ankita. For last year engineering, Dinesh Bachchani has secured first rank and Pragati Kadam has secured second rank.
Moving towards the university toppers of civil department, for first rank we have Dhananjay Gavkar from year 2018. For second rank Suraj Vishwakarma, Dhananjay Gavkar. For fourth rank Suraj Vishwakarma and Swaraj Shedge. For fifth rank Utkarsha Golande. For sixth rank Jnaneshwar Kandre. For seventh rank Saurav Patil. For eighth rank Toral Agarwal and for 10th rank Sushil Biradar.
Moving towards the college toppers of civil department, in second year engineering, Manjeet Singh Girase has secured first rank and Simran Khan has secured second rank. In third year engineering, Swapnil Wadekar has secured first rank and Deepak Desai has secured second rank. And in last year engineering, first rank was secured by Dhananjay Gavkar and for second rank we have Agarwal Toral.
Moving towards the university toppers of MCA department, for second rank we have Anjali Gupta. For fifth rank, Saili Roy. For sixth rank, Avinash Zadhav.
Moving towards the college toppers of MCA department. In first year, Utkarsh Srivastav has secured first rank and Ankit Jaiswal has secured second rank. In second year, Rutuja Kamble has secured first rank and Sneha Mainkar has secured second rank. In third year, Jay Prabha has secured first rank and Swarada Surve has secured second rank.
Moving towards the university toppers of post-graduation mechanical department, for first rank we have Gargi Bise from year 2015. For second rank, Sushant Dhole and Virendra Kumar. For third rank we have Akshay Kulkarni and Yogita Wabe. And also Sunil Patil. For fourth rank we have Bhushan Dhakar and Pratik Karaskar. For fifth rank we have Amey Joshi and for sixth rank we have Atul Patil. For sixth rank we have Dhanaji Bhosle. For seventh rank we have Sarika Mane. For eighth rank we have Surya Swagat. For ninth rank we have Sheetal Pawar. And for 10th rank Prathamesh Badadar.
Moving towards the college toppers of post-graduation of mechanical department. In design, Krishnan Pandey has secured first rank and Vaibhav Kanwade has also secured first rank. In heat power, Rashmi Ayure has secured first rank and even Yash Gujarati has secured first rank.
Moving towards the university toppers of post-graduation computer department, for first rank in year 2015 we have Nalini Yadav. For first rank in year 2016 we have Manjari Kulkarni. For second rank Meeta Lande. For third rank Supriya Shinde and Shubhangi Meshram. For fifth rank Bhakti Ratnaparthi. For sixth rank Sham Deshmukh and Kiran Chaudhary. For seventh rank Rupali Patil and for eighth rank Pritam Bhande. For ninth rank we have Pritam Patil, Ganesh Solanki, Payal Bhante, Nisha Pawar. For 10th rank and for 10th rank we also have Deepali Korpade.
Now, moving towards the college toppers of post-graduation of computer department, Brunali Idhate has secured first rank and even Shankapure Madhura has secured first rank.
Moving towards the university toppers of IT department, for first rank we have Shalaka Badre and Aarti Koi. For second rank Manisha Madne and Divya Pritam. For fifth rank Anurag Jain. For fifth rank Sarika Katkade. And for 6th rank, Archana Punde, Harshali Chaudhary. And for 9th rank, we have Neha Kasar. And for 10th rank, Shraddha Deshmukh.
Moving towards the college toppers of post-graduation of IT department, Brushali More and Jordan Chaudhary both have secured first rank.
Moving towards the university toppers of ENTC department post-graduation, 3rd rank is secured by Asmita Bodre and 5th rank is secured by Neelam Agarwal and Mohammad Shakil. 7th rank is secured by Supriya Lakde and Rushali Verma, Pronita Joshi. Simanti Chaudhary has secured 8th rank and 9th rank is secured by Tanvi Bonde.
Now moving towards the college toppers of post-graduation of ENTC department. In VLSI, Brunal Patil and Manisha Mishra have secured first rank. Now moving towards the college toppers of post-graduation of civil department. In construction management, Krishna Gupta has secured first rank. A big round of applause for all our achievers.
Now, let's start with the offline felicitation program of academic year 2020-21. I would like to invite on stage Dr. G.N. Kulkarni, Deputy Director of Pimpri-Chinchwad College of Engineering, Pune, Dr. P.R. Kale, Dean, Student Development and Welfare, Dr. A.K. Gaikwad, Associate Dean, Mrs. Rushali Bhalera, to please have seat on dais.
Now, let us start with our offline felicitation program. I would like to invite Dr. G.N. Kulkarni sir to hand over the prizes and certificates to our achievers.
Maybe there? Yes. It's all.
Yes. Congratulations to Ashwin Mohan, who has secured all branch 3rd rank in first year engineering department, April-May 2018. I would like to invite on stage Saini Nanda, who has secured all branch 9th rank in 3rd year computer engineering department, April-May 2018. She has also secured 8th rank in BE Computer, April-May 2019. She has also secured all branch 8 in AP in ENTC department, April-May 2016.
Now, I would like to invite Neenal Borke, who has secured branch-wise 4th rank in ME IT department, April-May 2016. Congratulations, Neenal. Now, I would like to invite Sanket Gule, who has secured branch-wise 8th rank in ME IT department, April-May 2017.
I would like to invite on stage Azhar Muzawar, who has secured all branch 5th rank in first year engineering mechanical department, and he has also secured first rank in all branches 2nd year mechanical department, April-May 2019. Congratulations, Azhar. I would like to invite on stage Shreya Bunjal, who has secured all branch third rank in first year Mechanical Engineering Department, April-May 2019. Congratulations, Shreya.
Now, I would like to invite Rutuja Chavan, who has secured all branch 6th rank and branch-wise 4th rank in second year ENTC department, April-May 2017. She is
Yes, please. I would like to invite on stage Dr. Janvi Inamda for prize distribution ceremony.
Rutuja Chavan has also secured 8 branch-wise 9th rank in April-May 2019, and she has also secured branch-wise 8th rank in April-May 2018. Congratulations, Rutuja. Now, I would like to invite Swapnil Wadekar, who has secured all branch 5th rank and branch-wise 1st rank in second year engineering civil department. He has also secured all branch 7th rank in FE civil department, April-May 2018.
Congratulations, Swapnil. I would like to invite on stage Deepak Desai, who has secured branch-wise 5th rank in second year civil engineering department, April-May 2019. Congratulations, Deepak. I would like to invite on stage Rutuja Kamre, who has secured first rank in second year MCA department. Congratulations, Rutuja.
Now, I would like to invite Swarda Surve, who has secured second rank in third year MCA department.
We have completed with the prizes. Congratulations to all the achievers. I would like to request all the dignitaries to please have a seat. Sir, Kari sir. Extracurricular. Development of well-rounded individual is principal goal of extracurricular activities. These activities gives numerous experiences which positively impact the students' emotional, intellectual, social, and interpersonal development.
With this, let's start with the prize distribution ceremony for extracurricular activities. And let's start with sharing the achievements of Team Renovate from Mechanical Department. Team Creanovate is the winner of the Smart India Hackathon SIH 2020 Hardware Edition. They have also secured first place in the internal hackathon for design, development, and manufacturing. I request Akshay sir to please display the PPT of extracurricular activities. Thank you. Team Creanovate is the winner of the Smart India Hackathon SIH 2020 Hardware Edition. They have also secured first place in the internal hackathon for design, development, and presentation on manufacturing of a 100% biodegradable sanitary napkin to cater to large demographics. They were guided by Dr. S.S. Lakde. These are the team members of Team Creanovate, and these are some of the glimpses of Team Creanovate.
I would like to congratulate Team Creanovate. Team 3D printer from BE Mechanical Department has been awarded with Gold Award of KPIT Sparkle for the project Continuous Fiber 3D Printing with Manufacturing of Nylon Embedded Continuous Carbon Fiber Filament. They have also won the cash prize of rupees 5 lakh rupees. They were guided by Professor Amit Divekar. This team has also won the AICTE Chhatra Vishwakarma Award for same project in year 2021, 6th March. These are the glimpses of Team 3D printer. Congratulations to Team 3D printer.
Now, moving towards Team Technovus, they are the first prize winner at Akriti 2020, which is a nationwide product design contest for engineering, design, and technology students in India run by Dassault Systems. The project team was Plant Residue Pullovator, and they have been awarded with a trophy and a prize money of rupees 1 lakh, and they were guided by Dr. S.S. Lakari. These are some of the glimpses of Team Technovus. Congratulations to Team Technovus.
Team Kratos Racing Electric has won overall first rank in performance at for Formula Bharat Electric 2021. They have also won Design Rank first and Best Battery Design Award Business Plan 5th. This team was guided by faculty Mr. Nilesh Gaikwad. These are the members of Team Kratos. I would like to share some glimpses of award won by the Team Kratos.
Now, moving towards Team Ambush, they have secured overall first rank in Essay Tiffan 2020. They have been awarded with a cash prize of rupees 1,50,000, and they are also the runner-up for Best Design Award, and they have been awarded with a cash prize of rupees 20,000. The professor was Ishan Satwani. These are the team members of Team Ambush, and these are some of the glimpses of Team Ambush.
Moving towards the extracurricular activities of Computer Department, Team ACM has won Student Chapter Excellence Award. It was a team of 35 students. They have won the Outstanding Community Service Award and received the prize money of $500. Faculty members who mentored them are Professor Rahul Patil and Professor Rahul Pitar. These are the group members of Team ACM. These is the photos of trophy won by the Team ACM.
Now, moving towards the extracurricular activities of IT department, there were two groups who were selected, who ranked first at national level. They have received a cash prize of rupees 20,000. The first group consisted of Gaurav Duhani, Khushi Desarda, Saili Gurve, Ruchika Bhambe. And the second group members were Apurva Chakta, Rudula Kulkarni, Prem Zadav, and Shivam Desi.
Team Technogeeks has won the first winner in MHRD initiative Smart India Hackathon year 2020. It was online held event and it was for virtual image capture. They have won the cash prize of rupees 1 lakh rupees. These are the some glimpses of Team Technogeeks. Congratulations to the team. Now, I would like to request Mrs. Rushali Bhalera to please come forward and brief us about the Best Outgoing Student Award of year 2020-21.
Hello everyone. Since last 4 years, we are distributing this award for the best outgoing student of the institute in the memory of our late student who was from Mechanical Engineering Department, Ripu Daman Singh Arora, and his parents are giving the cash prizes of 21,000 rupees every year Actually, his parents keep on coming when it is offline mode, but now we have requested to join them online. They have also joined online. I request Colonel Gagan Rana sir to please address the gathering, share his views about this, and then we will go. We will announce that most awaited award of best outgoing student. So over to you, Rana sir.
Thank you. The video is off from your side. Can you put on the live video? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, everybody.
Warm
Good morning,
welcome to you,
August
sir and madam.
presence out here.
Warm welcome.
Me and my wife, we both are present here to see this auspicious occasion of felicitating the best student of this year. Our son, he was not with us in 2016, and he was one of the bundle of joy and participated in each and every co-curricular activities in his college. Either you say him at playing football or be on ground, or a musician playing guitar, singing song, or playing bansuri, and he was actually present everywhere, a heartthrob, and quite a dear of all the teachers who were there. We really miss him as on date also, and in his memory we started, since he was so dear to this college, and he loves this college every day and night. We started this giving this best student of the year award in his memory, and we wish all the best to the best student of this year, and hope will still continue throughout his life till the time we are there. Thank you.
Actually, sir, the best outgoing student PPT, please. We received the yes. So we received the nomination of the best outgoing student from each and every department. This work has been started when second wave was there, and we received almost 5-6 nominations from each department. Then program accreditation committee of each department finalized 2 students per department, and we received 10 altogether applications at the central level from all departments. And then based on their scores given by all our dean, respected dean sir and madam sir, we have selected 3 students for the personal interviews, and you can see that Swapnil Walekar from civil department, Vedantika Taskar from civil department, and Divya Monu from computer department. Hearty congratulations for all the students. So these 3 students we have taken in the month of May, and we selected best outgoing student based on various criteria. I also, on this particular platform, I want to request all my UG and PG students to take this particular thing into account, that to become a best outgoing student of the institute, there are various criteria like our 4 pillars: academics, research and development, III, and SDW, how to perform everywhere well. Societal based aspect should be also taken care of. So one of our students have grabbed that opportunity of getting best outgoing student, and that has been kept in secret since last 2-3 months, and everybody is trying to follow behind the name. And I would like to request our Deputy Director Sir, Dr. Mca Chopre Sir, to please announce that secret name and felicitate the students.
Any guess? Divya Munot. Hearty congratulations.
I also request all the dignitaries to please come ahead while the felicitation is going on.
Heartiest congratulations to Divya Munot.
So to brief about Divya Mohammad's achievements. Presentation, please. Yes. Yes. Thank you to the parents, Colonel Gagan Rana sir and madam, for gracing this occasion coming by online mode. And we miss Ripudaman Singh a lot here. And it was very nice to see you here in online mode. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir. To brief you about the Divya's achievements, Divya is was the final year student of Computer Engineering Department. So congratulations to Computer Department also. In these 3 years, most prestigious award. In these 3 years in the department, she has shown her talent in all her fields like academics, research, co-curricular activities. Divya's academics is good and consistent for all her 4 years of her stay in PCCOE. She is also curious and eager to learn concepts from teachers. With respect to research, she has filed 3 patents and all her patents are published. This shows her innovation. Divya has worked as an ACMW Women President and Student Representative. This shows her leadership and organizational skills. Apart from she has participated in many events and has worked as a volunteer, leading by an example. She is a self-motivated person and has done many technical courses and certification to get state-of-art knowledge. Her profile on LinkedIn is very strong and has got an opportunity to attend interview with Google. She is the only student who has got that opportunity. And through NSS activities, Divya is always at the front line to help the society. Divya is aware about the importance of health and hence has completed diploma in yoga also and currently running yoga classes for many of her friends. And congratulations to Divya and everyone and PCCOE. Now I request our Dean Academics ma'am, Dr. Sheetal Bhandare ma'am, to felicitate our nominees. There are 2 nominees, Swapnil Walekar and Vedantika Taskar. Vedantika has not joined because she is in Nashik, but Swapnil Walekar is here. So I request Bhandare ma'am to please felicitate the nominees. Now moving ahead with our program, I will just briefly introduce our chief guest of the event, Mr. Archit Kodbole sir. So, a warm welcome from PCCOE to you, sir. He stood 16th in SSC exams and first in the university. He scored 100 marks in almost all exams in mathematics from first standard to IIT. He is a chemical engineer from IIT Mumbai 1972. He has 32 years of experience in software industry, out of which 23 years at the head managing global software companies. And he has also traveled all over the globe more than 150 times for his IT business. He has contributed to the multi-fold growth of the companies such as Patni, Intel, so on and so forth. He has written 4 technical books: Operating Systems, Data Communications and Networks, Web Technologies, Demystifying Computers, published by Tata Magazine. He has also translated some books in Chinese. He has written most popular, best-selling 42 books in Marathi also, as we all know. It is to name a few: Sanganak Yug, Boardroom, Navaved, Kimayaga, Arthat, Gulam, Nanode, and a lot of them. He has written popular columns on Tantra Mantra, Udyache Jag, and all. He has awarded his books. He was awarded for his books, Nadved, Kimeaka, Nanode, by many organizations, including state government. He has a keen interest in science, technology, mathematics, management, music, literature, arts, economics, and 2-3 more factors. He has given speeches on radio, TV, in many conferences worldwide. He has awarded very prestigious distinguished alumni by IIT and awarded 2 times by Prime Minister for excellence performance for his company in software exports, Udyog Ratna Award, and a lot of many awards. He has participated in delivering TEDx lecture on IT. He was the president of Yuva Natya Sahitya Sammelan held in 2011. He was the chief guest at the function of Rohan Maharashtra Mandal, USA, held in Los Angeles in 2015, and again a similar function in London in 2017, and again as a chief guest at a function in Sydney, Australia. He has contributed to building Ashiana, a school in Mumbai for mentally challenged children with about 40 autistic children. He worked in Bill Triton's after his IIT for the social justice. Currently, there are 2-3 students who are doing PhD in his books, and currently he is a managing director of Soft Excel Consultancy. This was a brief introduction of our chief guest of the event, Mr. Achyut Wadole, sir. And we are welcome to you, sir, and we are eager to hear from you. Over to you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you for this kind introduction. Can you hear me? Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Should I use my slides, or are you going to use the slides that I have given you?
Sir, slides.
Now you can share, sir.
You can share your slides.
Okay. Let me just check where my slides are. No, I will have to select where the slides are. I'm not able to find these.
Oh.
I had these slides somewhere. I don't remember. I had given the slides yesterday. Can somebody put those slides?
Yes, we are trying to download the slides.
Somehow this is not. Okay, I found them. This laptop is very slow.
We are sharing, sir.
No, I found. Okay, can you see these slides now?
Yes, sir, it's visible.
Okay. First of all, thanks a lot for inviting me
Maximize the
to.
slide.
Sorry?
Maximize the slide, sir. Thank you.
Okay. First of all, thanks a lot for inviting me for this, this talk, speech, or whatever. Today, I'm going to talk about artificial intelligence and future. It's not just artificial intelligence, but generally the technology. The way the technology is going to develop in the next a few years to come, and the way it's going to influence our lives is something that I want to talk to all the students and faculty and all the listeners. The reason I'm actually talking about this is I believe that this is going to be the most important subject or the most important thing that is going to affect our lives in the next 2, 3, 4 decades, or in fact many decades to come. And I think it's very important that we understand what's likely to happen. Now, if I want to talk about the technological change and at least the speed at which the technology is changing, let me just tell you, how the whole thing has changed. We can talk about, if we start from the beginning of the universe got created 14 billion years ago, and then Earth got created for 4.5 billion years ago, and life
Sir,
started.
excuse me, can you put it on the slideshow mode?
Sorry?
Sorry to interrupt. Full screen?
Yeah, it is full screen.
Or
Can you do
slideshow?
Hello?
At the bottom it is there, sir. Or you can press F5.
Yeah, why don't you use it? Hello?
Sir, can you please make it full screen?
Yeah, it is full screen.
So can you please press F5?
It is little less.
F5 has may not configured. F5 is not. Is it okay?
Done, sir.
Now it is okay, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay. So 14 billion years ago, the universe was created 14 billion years ago. Then Earth was created 4.5 billion years ago, and the first living being came to existence 3.75 billion years ago. Human history spans for 100,000 years, and according to several experts, there were 3 epochs: agriculture, industry, and services. Agriculture spanned for tens of thousands of years, industry for a few centuries after the Industrial Revolution, and services only for a few decades after 1960s. Now, the progress that we made, the technological progress that we made in the agricultural era, that is tens of thousands of years, was minuscule. I mean, there was hardly any progress at all. The way we lived yesterday was the same that we live today, and the way we lived last week was the same that we lived this week and this month and this year and this decade and this century and so on. So I think in the tens of thousands of years, there was hardly any progress. Then came Industrial Revolution, and the progress that we made in the few centuries of Industrial Revolution was much higher than the progress that we made in tens of thousands of years of agriculture, which means, and then followed the era of services. And services means modern services, which actually started with the advent of modern computers in 1960s. And the progress that we made since then in a few decades was much higher than the progress that we made in a few centuries of after Industrial Revolution, which in turn was much higher than the progress that we made in tens of thousands of years of agriculture. So you are all engineering students, so you understand calculus. So we are talking about d2y by dx2 or not dy by dx. So rate of change is so high. And just to give you an idea, the progress that we made in the last 10 years, the technological progress that we made in the last 10 years was much higher than the progress that we made in the entire history of human beings. And the reason is not because we have become suddenly very wise or very intelligent. We have not. But we are standing on the shoulders of our predecessors. The way Newton used to say, I'm standing on the shoulders of Galileo and Copernicus and so on. We are standing on the shoulders of thousands, if not lakhs, of scientists and technologists who are working globally on a variety of technologies. And that's why the rate of progress is very, very, very high. I mean, we can't even imagine, and many people have stopped predicting about what's likely to happen in future, because quite a few people had predicted that a few things will happen in 10 years or 20 years, and those things have happened in 2 years or 3 years. So the predictions have fallen flat because the technological progress has outpaced. I mean, it is extremely rapid, and that's the reason is many technologies are coming together. And that's something that we need to bear in mind. Now, if you look at the only services era, the information technology, 1960s was the era of mainframes, 70s mini computers, 80s was PCs, 90s was internet, 2000 onwards was mobile computing and tech convergence, and 2000 onwards was industry 4.0, and I'm going to talk about that. In 1960s, the era was mainframe. Mainframes were very large. They used to emit heat. They were not all reliable, but they had batch processing. And they were not real time and online. Not many. I mean, IBM 373 onwards had actually started the online processing or transaction processing, as it was called then. But mainly it was used in banks for batch processing and storing large amount of data for back-end processing. 1970s saw the computer size reduced, computer prices reduced, and therefore you could see multiple computers in one company. Purchasing department had one, and production department had one, and so on, and they were all mini computers. DEC, Digital Equipment Corporation, Data General, Prime, and Wang, and so on. These are the companies, Hewlett Packard. These are the companies who produced mini computers, and actually they were installed on a variety of companies. But they still had not become commonplace, and common people were still afraid of computers. They did not use computers. They were not familiar with how to use computers and so on. Only experts used to use computers, and therefore the fear of using computers was still there in the minds of common people. But that changed in the 1980s when personal computers came. The prices fell, the sizes reduced, and PCs started appearing on every table of every manager, every officer, every lawyer, every engineer, every doctor, and many households and so on. They were expensive in the beginning. Like in India, they used to cost around 2 lakhs and so on, but later on the price reduced. And then the main thing happened was that there were colors in the PC. Personal computers had colors. They were multimedia. Multimedia means there were 4 types of media in which human beings have communicated with each other from the beginning. One is text, that is A to Z, 0 to 9, etc. When we type anything on the word processor, it's converted into zeros and ones, ASCII or ABCD, whatever, and then stored in zeros and ones on computers. When a digital photo means the photo is converted into zeros and ones. Then sound, any sound is also converted into zeros and ones. And then video, when we play DVD or even on mobile, when you have a video, it's converted into zeros and ones. So in all 4 forms of media, there is text, audio, video, and photo. If they can be converted into zeros and ones, can be stored onto the computer, can be deleted, can be transmitted, can be modified. That's what is called as multimedia. And therefore, multimedia came, there were colors and there was graphical user interface. With keyboard and mouse, you could actually change the entire thing. So with these 3, the PCs became user friendly, and therefore, most of the people lost or actually shed their fears about using computers, and they started, embracing computer technology wholeheartedly. And that happened across companies and across applications. And therefore, several PCs were networked together to servers and various large computers. And in 1990s, internet actually flourished, and therefore most of the companies started using computers in their applications. See, until then, you must remember that computers were used only as a tertiary help to the main business. My main business was producing soaps, and computers were used to do accounting for my purchases and sales and so on and so forth. But come 1980s and 1990s, computers actually, or information technology, which means computers and communications together, so occupied the central stage. I mean, they started driving the businesses, which essentially meant that computers no longer were just sort of bystanders and just sort of helping the main businesses, but they were part and parcel of driving the profitability and the operation of the main businesses. And that's what changed the entire the way you did business. In fact, in management, we call that as business process re-engineering. The whole thing was quite fashionable in 1980s and 90s when I was actually doing the software exports. General Electric took a lead in this. Business process re-engineering meant not just changing the processes and improving slightly, but completely revamping these processes using computer technology or computers and communications. And that was essentially, so throw the old processes and build new processes using computers and communications. If you want to do purchasing, earlier you had to have purchase order manually prepared, maybe then typed on a computer and then sent, etc. But now we're using various techniques and technologies with supply chain and various things which I won't go into. The old processes were changed completely and the new processes were brought in, which is why most of the companies actually had to build their new computer systems. And therefore they required hundreds and thousands of programmers. Because if you did not use computers for your business, you were thrown into the dustbin. I mean, you could not stand in the rat race of competition. So it was not just sort of that computers were nice to have, but it was absolutely necessary. I'll give you an example. Take DTP, for instance. When you're desktop publishing, today without desktop publishing, no publisher of newspapers or books or whatever can even exist. I mean, leave alone being competitive. Gone are the days when earlier there were typewriters and people used to type documents and so on and so forth. And when newspapers used to be produced, there was to be they were using old technology, and the fonts had to be organized and page wise, and then the whole page had to be composed, and then the newspaper had to be printed. Imagine at 10 o'clock. If a newspaper gets a news that American president has been assassinated, what can you do? You could not do anything at all. You had to wait for the next day until you got all the news from various sources, and there was no internet then. So you had to wait until you got all the information from various sources, and then compose the new page, and the next day you could give the information, produce the newspaper. But with DTP, if something happens at 10 o'clock in the night, within 30 minutes, you can get all the information from internet, various videos and audios and various interviews of various people after that assassination. Compose the news item, shift it to the main first page, and move from the first page to the fourth page what you were to print on the first page. So you reorganize your newspaper within half an hour, and then next day morning, 6 o'clock or 5 o'clock or 7 o'clock, all the people get the news with the front page of the news of the assassination. The point I'm trying to make is, if some newspaper says I will not use DTP, that newspaper will actually just sort of will lose the competitive game. I mean, will not exist. This is just one example. But what that means is that the old jobs were destroyed and new jobs were created. When word processor and DTP came, all the jobs of the typists vanished. Or say second example, ATMs. When ATMs came, the jobs of teller clerks who used to dispense cash for you in the banks, all those jobs were lost. When animation software came, hundreds and thousands of artists who used to draw various drawings for an animation film Walt Disney used to employ hundreds of artists in his garage, for instance. All of those lost their jobs because there was a 2D animation and now there's 3D animation. Without 2D or 3D animation, no advertisement or no film can be made today. I mean, you can be rest assured. In fact, if somebody brings in a law in the parliament that you cannot use 2D or 3D animation, the first one to commit suicide will be Rajnikant, I guess, because it will be impossible for him or to produce anything at all. So I think it is very important that the IT did not remain as a tertiary bystander, but became a main driver of technology, whether it is retail, whether it is education, whether it is whatever, and that created a huge shortage of programmers in America. And that's when I was in Patni. Then Narayan Murthy left Patni. I started Patni, and I ran Patni for 11 years, and then I ran Sintel as managing director for 4 years, and L&T as a CEO for 4 years. And in all these years, we used to go to America and say, you have to pay $100 for a programmer in America. I will give you a programmer for $60 in America, and $30 if you do the work in India. And in 1990s, because of internet, you could use the backup, centers. You could open centers in Pune, Hyderabad, Bangalore, and so on and so forth. And therefore, offshore centers flourished because of internet. And you could do the same job for $30, which you had to pay $100 in America, which is why all the so-called IT revolution took place in India. But that's the whole history. After 2000, mobile computing and tech convergence took place. The tech convergence essentially means the television, mobile, and computers coming together. That's what is called as technology convergence, which took place today on the mobile. You can use computing, you can do word processing, you can use, you can just do anything. You can use watch films. So in years to come, mobile will be the device which you probably may not need anything else. And 2011 onwards, what we are now seeing is what we call as industrial 4.0. Actually, it's industry 4.0. There's a spelling mistake. It's industry 4.0. Now, what is industry 4.0? The first three industrial revolutions, the first industrial revolution was steam engine in 1750. Second industrial revolution was mass production using electricity in 1920s, when there was, mass production. As you know, the Ford motors came into existence, and there was the assembly line, and Frederick Taylor, was the one who laid foundation of management principles for the production lines and so on. And in Charlie Chaplin's Modern Times, you can see in fact, the effect on workers and so on and so forth. But that increased productivity enormously. The third industrial revolution took place in computers and automation, as we saw just now, 1960 onwards to now. But the fourth industrial revolution, the industry 4.0, will be fueled, and that will continue for the next 3-4 decades. That will be fueled by what? And that will be fueled by cloud computing, 5G, IoT, IIoT, smart homes, factories, big data from social media, sensors, transactions, etc., augmented reality, virtual reality, 3D printing, and AI. I don't think I need to explain to you what all this means, because I saw somebody getting an award right now for 3D printing. So I believe that you understand what that really means. But I just thought I'll just explain in a couple of sentences so that you those who are not familiar with this will understand. Cloud computing is essentially a large data center maintained by somebody else. Earlier, you had to have a computer within your compound, and then there was a cost associated with the land and maintenance of the equipment and the purchases of the software and so on and so forth. But with cloud computing, there are companies, large companies, who maintain huge amount of battery of servers, hundreds and thousands of servers with large disk capacity. And they also have software like SAP, for instance. They maintain large battery of variety of software products as well. And they say to you, why don't you, instead of buying hardware and software applications and operating systems and networking hardware and software, etc., why don't you rent it from us? So I think it's essentially a renting concept that these companies provide, and that is really catching up very, very fast. Google, Amazon, and most of the companies use cloud. Quite a few emails that we write today, or quite a few conversations that we have amongst each other, are actually put on cloud, and they're retrieved and brought to you as and when necessary. 5G is essentially extremely fast communication system. It requires different towers, by the way. It has different frequencies. It is a different technology. You can use the same towers and just make some small changes and convert it into 5G. So 5G is an entirely different ballgame. I have another slide for this. IoT is Internet of Things. The whole idea is that all the equipment that we have in the house, including microwaves and refrigerators and washing machines and so on, or ACs, should be smart. What do we mean by smart? They should have microprocessors inside them, and they should be connected to internet. So they should be able to communicate with the internet. It's not sufficient to be just smart, which means that they're processors. Today also, washing machine has a microprocessor, and there's an embedded software in it. When we actually press and say, run it for 10 seconds or half a minute, and the washing machine rotates for half a minute, or microwave oven, etc. We say, heat it for 1 minute. Essentially, it's an instruction to the embedded software, and embedded software rotates the whole disk, and so on and so forth. But that does not create IoT. IoT means all these equipment are connected and communicating through internet, which is why Internet of Things. But if you seen Amitabh Bachchan's advertisement, he's standing somewhere outside and he wants to change the temperature of air conditioner in the house before even coming to the house, and he changes it with the mobile in his hand. That's essentially defines what IoT is. And there are various advantages and disadvantages. There are sensors that will be there on your body, on variety of equipment, on etc., that will be used to communicate. IIoT is Industrial Internet of Things, which essentially means all the machines within the factories also will be communicating with each other through internet. So if there is a part that is actually going bad or likely to go bad, it will detect itself, or machine, or in the car, the carburetor or the engine, etc. will detect that I'm actually, I need maintenance. So that we will send a message through internet to either the driver or in fact flash on the dashboard, and then if it is very, very intelligent, and tomorrow's world there will be driverless cars, in which case it will automatically take it to the nearest garage using obviously Google Maps and so on. So I think the whole thing is moving towards a hugely automated kind of thing, and that's going to change the landscape of the way we do things, the way we work in homes and factories, and that's going to change the way, that's going to eliminate several jobs. And I'm going to come to that. According to some estimates of World Bank, 67% of the jobs will either perish. They will not be required, or they will change the way we do those jobs. So the nature of jobs are going to change. So unlearning and learning is going to be an extremely important thing if we want to succeed in tomorrow's world. So all these students who are actually listening to me, I don't want to frighten you, but I certainly want to tell you what's in store for you in years or in decades to come. It's very important for you to be prepared for what's likely to happen. Just to sort of deviate from this slide, a sociologist has said that each one will have to change one's job 6 times in one's lifetime. 6 times, that doesn't mean changing a job, doesn't mean from TCS to Infosys or Citibank to Bank of India. Changing a job means unlearning and learning, because things will change. The way you used to do things will not be necessary, will not be required. It will be obsolete. The rate of obsolescence is going to increase enormously. As I've said, with ATMs, the teller clerks were gone. With DTP and word processing, the typists were gone. With animation, the artists had gone. With CAD CAM, with draftsmen had gone. With driverless cars, lakhs of drivers will go, and hundreds of things, which as I probably, if I have time, I'll tell you. But the many jobs will change or will vanish, and I think new jobs will emerge, but they will not match the way, the number of jobs that will perish. So I think there's going to be whole issue of unemployment, and therefore the UBS, the universal basic income, and so on. But we may not have time to discuss all that. Now, big data is something that we need to be aware of. Big data just doesn't mean the size is very large. Size obviously is very large, but the structured data, like from employee data, purchasing data, and so on, which is structured, and there are rows and columns and so on. But there's unstructured data, which is like social media conversations, or from sensors, or from credit card transactions, and there are hundreds of other things. There is various videos that you put on the social media today, or audios and so on and so forth. All that forms the data by the way. And that data is increasing enormously. Enormously is only term. Now, is it how good is it? The important thing is this big data is oil for artificial intelligence, because today the entire, and I'll come to that, big data essentially means finding out relationship between various data items or data sets. That is what is called data analytics, which is why the whole thing of data science is emerging, and people are going crazy because it's people getting jobs of 20 lakhs per annum and 30 lakhs per annum who are good in data science, and that figure will continue rising. The data scientists that will be required will be very, very large, and the salary is also very, very large. But the data scientist will be required to understand artificial intelligence, machine learning, big data, data analytics, statistics, and so on. So there are a variety of things that will actually converge in what is called as data science. And I just want to sort of touch upon this. But big data essentially means finding out relationship between them. Just to give you an example, for instance, in a bank, there's a large amount of data, and in normally in a query, in database query, you know what you want. So if you want to know how many students are there who have got more than 50 marks, so you ask the database query is in SQL, and it will give you a list of students who have scored more than 50 marks. But in big data or data analytics, you ask the software to find out relationship. You don't know what you want. So big data, for instance, in a bank, it comes out with, it uses various statistical correlation and various other systems, and then comes up with maybe an analysis saying that if somebody is working in a bank for 3 years and is MBA, then that person is likely to buy a car with 80% probability. When that sort of relationship is given to the bank managers, then bank managers' job is to find out the mobile numbers of those people with 3 years experience and MBA, and then give those numbers to a call center to chase them for the loan for cars. I mean, this is how it works. So this is just one area, but there are hundreds of other areas in big data. For instance, essentially means social media communications. So using artificial intelligence with machine learning and natural language processing, you can understand the conversation. So if two people are talking to each other, how do you understand? So that requires understanding of natural language, because people are not talking in COBOL or Fortran or R or Python. They are talking in English or Marathi or Hindi. So you have to understand the meaning, extract the meaning. So if there is if somebody is talking about bomb all the time, or maybe some weapons all the time, or maybe in code language in weapons or bombs or something like that all the time, then you can infer that he must be a terrorist. So the AI today and big data is used to sort of serve through large amount of data to arrive at tendencies of various people. It can be also misused for surveillance of what kind of political ideologies you have, and then maybe maybe have some kind of surveillance, which is a bad thing. But I think the whole idea of big data and AI merging is this, and that's then augmented reality and virtual reality. As you know, with augmented reality, I can sit here and I can the pay company which manufactures paint for my house. It gives me a choice. If I give the whole structure of my rooms and etc. to the company allows me to see, oh, if I give this color to this wall, if I give this color to this, how will it look, without even actually painting them. And after looking and then finding out how it looks, then I make a choice, and then I actually buy that paint and then paint my house. So this is, I just wanted to explain with an example what augmented reality can do. And the same thing about shirt. Without buying a shirt, I can actually see how it looks on me. The same thing about cosmetics and hair styles and various things. So I mean, AR is actually going to play a very important role. There are a variety of other good uses as well of AR, VR. like medical surgery. While teaching surgery, you don't need to do surgery on a autopsy on a body. I mean, you can do a digital body today. I mean, there are various things don't need to talk about. 3D printing, as you probably are aware, is the thing of tomorrow, and is going to change the way we do things. Artificial intelligence, and I have with 5G, I have this one slide: data rates of 5 gigabits per second. Today, necessity of more bandwidth due to IoT, AI, AR, VR, we need bandwidth. Can handle 1,000 times more traffic than 4G, by the way, 10 times faster than 4G. Can download high density cinema in less than 1 second. So that is the whole, it uses these 5 technologies, which I don't think we'll have time to discuss. Artificial intelligence consists of expert systems, natural language processing, robotics, machine learning, and deep learning. And I have explained to you what all this means. I just will concentrate for a couple of minutes on machine and deep learning, because I mean, many of you must have known this, but I just want to tell you what is the difference between classical artificial intelligence, classical, or that's called a symbolic AI, and machine learning or deep learning. Deep learning is a part of machine learning. When machine learning essentially is based on artificial neural network, which tries to replicate or mimic or simulate the human brain. Human brain consists of the network of various neurons, and therefore if we create this kind of network artificially, it's called artificial neural network, and it consists of various layers. And if the number of layers are very large, it's called the deep learning. If they are very small, it's called the machine learning. It's that simple as that. But what do we mean by this? We don't have time to sort of explain in detail how it is done, but just to give an example. Normally, what we do is we have a program, and in the program, the program goes through the database and gives results. So program gives results. In machine learning and deep learning, it is a data which is fed, which is why big data is so important and used as called as oil for AI. It is a data that is used for machine learning, and the algorithm is the result. And what actually comes out is an algorithm. I'll give you an example. For instance, if I want to do machine translation automatically, and this is actually true because in Europe, each document that is produced has to be translated into 20 languages simultaneously. In Canada, in 2 languages, French and English, and there are hundreds and thousands of documents every month. So they had to actually, it was a tedious job, and hundreds of people had to do this tedious job. So can we do this automatically was the question. And that question was solved by machine learning. How can it be solved? Classically, what did you have to do? You had to actually write a program of, if this is a word in English, what is the word in French? So essentially build 2 dictionaries and have for which word, what word to be replaced. But then there are phrases and there are sentences, and each has a flavor, So it's very hard for somebody to program so many possibilities of translating from one language to another, using if then else statement and so on and so forth. With machine learning, what they did was they actually had passed hundreds and lakhs of sentences which were ready in English as well as French. So they fed these sentences, fed one sentence in English, one sentence in French, which was equivalent, which was translated. And the program in the computer, the job of the program is to find the similarities and build an algorithm to learn from this, to build dictionaries, to find similarities and what should be substituted to what and so on. Essentially, the algorithm to translate. So when only the first sentence was fed, obviously it made some mistakes. We obviously did arrived at some conclusions which were obviously not very correct because there was only one, data was very small. The second sentence was fed. Then it used the first and second both and tried to figure out what must be right. I mean, is this verbs? What is similarity? It actually tried to figure out what is a verb, what is a noun. You see, the whole sort of motivation from this came from how a child learns. To a child, when we teach child a language, we don't teach this is a noun, this is a verb, we don't teach grammar to a child. But child still learns and actually starts talking. And that's how an idea came into my mind after 2000 or something, and started. If the child can learn this, why can't we build an algorithm which, looking at similarities, can build an algorithm which learns, build a program which translates, learns and translates. So that's how they actually fed 1-2 lakhs of sentences, and the algorithm kept on finding out similarities, not just in words, but phrases and sentences and many things. And ultimately, you had a program which actually translates up to 96-97% of at least government documents. It's still sort of a long way to go if you want to translate a novel or a poetry, etc. But today, what does Google Translate do? For instance, obviously, Google Translate is not very good to translate a novel or a piece of literature. But for ordinary sentences, for a lot of sentences, in fact, and it translates from 100 languages, by the way. And that is done because it is fed with data. So the data is input. Unlike in the first case, we have algorithm giving data. For deep learning, it is data which actually gives an algorithm. So I think this is the main basic difference between the way machine learning is used. And that is used the face recognition, and that is used for driverless cars and so on. And deep learning and machine learning is going to play havoc in tomorrow's world. And therefore, data science, which consists of big data, machine learning and deep learning and data analytics and variety of things, is going to be the key in tomorrow's world, because in tomorrow's world, quite a few industries, retail, businesses, and various companies are going to use data science and data scientists to build models which will increase their profitability and sales. So this is what I wanted to say. Now I'll just finish in the next 5 to 8 minutes telling you as to why and how jobs are going to change and what we need to do to sort of succeed in tomorrow's world. I have some 6 examples. As I've said, ATMs came, and then tailor clerks were jobless or had to unlearn and learn. With animation artists, CAD/CAM draftsmen, word processing and DTP typists, e-insurance and banking managers, agents and accountants, driverless cars, drivers, software programmers. There are, in fact, travel agents. See, you must realize, like telephone, with call centers and automated telephone systems, telephone operators will not be necessary. With language translation, human translators will not be necessary. TurboTax eliminated lakhs of tax accountants, by the way. In fact, internet is going to remove middlemen. Hundreds of bookshops are closing, for instance. Why do you need to go to a bookshop and buy when you can buy from Amazon, or buy from, in fact, directly publishers? If I want to buy a shirt in tomorrow's world, and this was actually Bill Gates in 1996 wrote a book which is called as Business at the Speed of Light, in which he had predicted this. And at that time, internet was in a very nascent stage, had not developed. But at that time, he had the foresight to tell us that when internet comes of age, that is, becomes mature, most of the middlemen will vanish. If not now, in the next 20, 30 years. Like all the kirana shops will vanish. Why do you need them? Because several people will directly from producers will actually give the material to your home. Like the medicines are now being, there's an internet service to give medicines at your doorstep. Similarly, vegetables. So why do you need even medical shops tomorrow, in tomorrow's world, for instance? Why do you need bookshops? Why do you need stores that you see which the various shirts and neckties are kept on a rack? You can go to whatever company. I mean, I don't shop too much, but whichever Van Heusen, for instance, and then on the website, select the size of the shirt, the color of the shirt, select, and then or maybe through Amazon, and then use maybe augmented reality to see whether how it fits and how it looks on you, and then just buy, and that comes to you. You don't need to go to a shop. Why does a shop needs to exist? I think in tomorrow's world, the kind of changes that are going to change, that you're going to witness, are enormous. So please understand this. In tomorrow's world, there will be no notes, banks, checkbooks, credit cards, nothing at all. In China today, nothing exists excepting the money on mobile in zeros and ones. Nothing at all. So please understand. I mean, as I've said, the technology is moving so fast. Just to give you an example, today in China, there are trains with 600 kilometers per hour. in the latest is 10-storied building. 10-storied building in China was built in 10 in 10 hours, I think 10 hours or something like that. 10 story building was built in 24 hours or something. It's extremely ridiculous. I mean, in one day you had a 10-story building. I mean, that kind of thing. So it is absolutely, in a sense, fascinating but frightening speed at which things are happening because of the modular way you build things, plus nanotechnology, plus 3D printing, and hundreds of things will come together. And in tomorrow's world, you will ask yourself a question: why do you need offices at all? All offices will become museums. Because take banking, for instance, hundreds of these branches. Why do you need that? I mean, today, obviously, in India, there is a lot of illiteracy, and even the density of smartphones is very less. So let's not talk about that. But maybe 20, 30 years. Why do you need a bank branch or bank itself? I mean, you need a loan, so you write an application through internet. It goes to, I mean, so you want to mortgage your house, so all the papers of the house also are attached. It's seen by the manager. Manager approves the loan. The money comes electronically through into your account. Into your account means in your mobile, the zeros and ones change basically. Why do you need people just sort of go there in that building? All the data can be shared. Data can be shared and used. So all, same with insurance. All the, even offices of companies, all the meetings can be done virtually, sitting at their homes, and today that's happening maybe forcefully because of COVID. But, the point I'm trying to make is all offices will become museums. So the change, and this is not something that I'm predicting will happen at the end of the century. I believe myself that in the next 20, 30 years, this is going to happen, 30, 40 years. No currency, no notebook. This is, in fact, and my friend Nandan Nilekani has given a speech on which must be available on YouTube, the future of financial services. And there is, he had said 5, 10 years. I used to tell him when I give my lecture, I used to say 15, 20 years. And he said 5, 10 years. And another 5, 10 years, even in India, that will probably go. And people used to laugh at me when I used to say that. But with Paytm and various things, that will take a while in India to take roots, but I think it will certainly happen. Flying cars, people used to laugh at me when I used to give talks about it. It's already unveiled in New York a few years ago. Don't try buying it because it's very expensive still, but it will come. With the flying cars, the entire travel, the entire RTO, and the whole thing is going to change. With driverless cars, it's going to change enormously. So the point I'm trying to make is, even the companies who did not sort of could not see the change coming had to wind up. And I've given a list. Like the people who cannot unlearn and learn very fast will be thrown to the periphery, and only those who are very good at core technologies and continuously update and continuously unlearn and learn can only exist in tomorrow's world. Please understand. Many companies were thrown to dustbin, and very large companies, HMV, Woolworth, Blockbusters, Jessup, Virgin, Megastore, Habitat, Focus, and there are many, Royal Bank of Scotland, many of them were my customers in England and so on. Now, Kodak was finished because Kodak stuck to analog films and did not accept digital film. And Fujifilm and Canon actually went ahead. Polaroid did not exist or went down. Blockbuster, I used to take various videos, video cassettes in America, in Cincinnati and New York, in Blockbuster. They did not transform to digital mode, and they were finished with Netflix and iTunes and so on. With Borders, it was the biggest, very big bookstore, by the way, like Barnes and Nobles, but had to close down. Toys R Us, Pan Am, Compaq, there are a list of companies which actually had to wind up. I'll end in a couple of minutes. What should we do as anybody, in fact, I would say three, four things. One, you should be, even if things change in tomorrow's world, first, you should be very, very good in the current technology, whatever you are, whether civil engineer, architect, accountant, whatever. In whatever, whatever you do, okay, you must be good at what you do. You must have the fundamental knowledge, the knowledge of fundamental principles, so that you can accept the change. When it changes, if your fundamentals are right, you can learn and unlearn very fast. So your fundamentals have to be good. Point number one. Point number two, you should be able to unlearn and learn very, very fast. Point number three, which is very important, it's not very good, it's not very quite sufficient to be just good in your technology or whichever branch you are pursuing. You have to be an excellent communicator. And if you have to do, if you're in the exports business like the way I was, then you have to have good English as well. I mean, I hate to tell stories of my personal life, but all my education was in Marathi medium, and thanks to some insult that I had to undergo in my first year of IIT, I had to work on my English. And really, for 10 months, I did nothing but read English novels, papers. I had to stand in front of the mirror and work on speaking in English. The way we make mistakes is we actually think in Marathi, then translate in English and then speak. And I've seen that happen many, many times. I had said to myself that that's not what I'm going to do. I have to think in English. And therefore, I had to continue reading. Even today, my thinking actually is in English. My reading also takes place in English. Because out of my several books that I have, most of them are in English. But that doesn't mean English. I'm proud of English and Marathi is bad. I'm proud of Marathi, in fact. I mean, I'm very proud of Marathi, which is why I write in Marathi. All my 40 books are in Marathi because I wanted Marathi to be Jnana Bhasha. But if you have to succeed in tomorrow's world, and if you're doing business with international companies, you have to be good in English. If you communicate well, and it's not just English, even if it's Marathi, Hindi, whatever, your communication has to be good. Three, your personality has to be good, not just communication. You have to be pleasant. You have to have a good sense of humor. You cannot just say, I'm very good in operating, C language or R or whatever language, Java, and gone are the days when Newton sat under a tree and then thought of gravity and so on. You have to be a team worker. You can't be a loner. You can't be an egoist or egotist. You have to be, if you smile, if you have a good sense of humor, if you take people along, if you're a team worker, if you're a good listener, you will succeed. And if you don't have these qualities, you will fail regardless of whether you're very, very bright or not. Gone are the days of Newton. I mean, today, even in R&D, for instance, even in R&D in pharma or even IT, it is teamwork. It is not something that I'm sitting smoking a cigar and then suddenly I come up with an idea and then almost every discovery, invention, whatever, is a teamwork today in any company. So please understand that building your personality, believing and building teams, and excellent communication are very important. And obviously technology, unlearning, learning, etc. And not last, but one more is be entrepreneurial. Don't start thinking about just sort of where can I get a job, and more importantly, how I can go to America and settle there. I mean, that's something you should never do. I must tell you this. I see a lot of bad things about Chinese society, Chinese government, more than society, Chinese government, and so on. I'm not a great fan, by the way, but I must tell you, there are hundreds and thousands of Chinese students who go to America. They study, and most of them come back to China and serve China. In India, most of the people go from India to America and then settle there and then teach us Deshbhakti from there to us and then criticize India. So I think that is certainly wrong and that is bad. I would request you to go abroad, study, but come back and serve India. I think it is very important that we need you. I think I'll be entrepreneurial also. It's not just sort of taking up a job. Okay, how can I create something? Last but not the least, you are the people who have had good opportunity and good fortune to take education in an organization, in a campus such as this, which is really very good, very progressive. But half of India, or I would say even 70–80% of India, cannot afford this. Today, our education system is really in an extreme amount of need and mess. In fact, I always say there are two Indias, India and Bharat. And however much progress you make, wherever you are, you go to America, come back, whatever, don't forget the remaining Indians who could not make it. And could not make it not because they were lacking in something, but because we could not provide enough conditions for them to progress. So I think it is very important that we always keep the other India in our mind as to what we can do about this. If we do this, then we not only will be successful, but we also will emerge as a very, very good individuals. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Achal Godbole sir. We have enjoyed throughout this wonderful journey of your speech, that over the period of time how computer revolution era developed, computers, communications, then supply chain, how the whole processes has been replaced by the computers, how the changeovers in jobs is taking place, smart household equipments, the words like AIML, statistics, big data, AR, VR, 3D printing, IoT, artificial neural network, and really the process of learn, unlearn is the current motivation, was the current motivation for all of us, for our students, for the faculty also. And big thank you for accepting our invitation as a chief guest of the event and for enlightening with this wonderful speech. Thank you, sir.
Now I request Mrs. Prushali Bhalerao ma'am to offer the vote of thanks.
Good afternoon, everyone. Respected dignitaries on of the dais, offline and online mode. I am Mrs. Prushali Bhalerao presenting vote of thanks to this prize distribution ceremony, academic year 2021. I'm presenting vote of thanks to all who have directly or indirectly helped in this ceremony. To start with, a big thanks to our all PCT trustee members for their constant support and motivation. A special thanks to all our prize distribution team members. To start with, Dr. P.R. Kade sir, Dr. E.K. Gaikwad sir, who did the overall coordination. Department-wise coordinators, Mrs. Bandarkar ma'am from ENTC, Swapnil Kurade sir and Muttegavkar madam from Civil Department. I myself from Mechanical Department, Archana Kadam madam from Computer Department, Ashwini Tongwe ma'am from IT Department, R.T. Jagtap sir from FE Department, Prashant Kulkarni sir from MCA Department, for taking the list of students of department toppers, academic toppers, curricular and co-curricular activities and streamlining the things. Also, as we are transferring the money, prize money online. So, taking those details for online prize transfer. Thank you to all department coordinators of this committee. Then Mr. Santosh Pacharne sir, who is Director of Physical Education and Sports, who have done helped us doing all the LRDC arrangements. Mr. Swapnil Ayani and his team with Mahesh More sir, Ashwini Maske madam and Sagar Tamore, who have done the certificate work, and we will be transferring these certificates. The students who are there at their homes, we will be sending it by courier or speed post. That will reach to them within this 5 to 10 days. Then coming to the Archana Kadam madam and Kiran Tongwe madam, who have done the final listing and handing it over to the office people. Then Ketan Desle sir and Kapil Tajne sir, who have done the online show streaming on the YouTube for this particular event. And finally, the Meera Gaikwad madam and Bhalekar sir from office, who will be doing all this online transfer money work. That is our thank you to this prize distribution committee members, all the people. And then again, very big thank you to all head of the departments, PG coordinators, our deans, associate deans, our deputy director sir and director sir, for giving us this opportunity to hold this event, because we were thinking how we can do this, and we were successfully able to do the offline, partial offline mode, also in the online mode. So that was the big question due to this COVID pandemic, but because of all of their support, we were able to do it successfully. And all our result analysis people, academic coordinators in the department have helped a lot to come to this particular list. And thank you to the chief guest of the event, Chudhur sir and Colonel Gagal Rana sir, for joining us in online mode. And also special thanks to all the students and parents who have joined online in this particular ceremony, and all the toppers and their faculty members in the department who have created this environment, encouraging environment to come up with this kind of huge list of toppers. We have received with almost 250 toppers for this particular prize distribution ceremony, and it is a really pride moment for PCCOE to felicitate all the students in offline and online mode. And thank you again everyone who have directly and indirectly helped us, and the program will end with Poseidon. Thank you. We will be taking group photo after the Poseidon. Ata Vishwatmake Deve Yeni Vagayani Toshave Toshoni Matsadave Vasayadanihi Je Khanchi Vyankati Sando Taya Satkarmi Rativado भूता परस्परे पडो मैत्र जीवांचे दुरितांचे तिमिर जाओ विश्व स्वधर्म सूर्ये पाहू जो जे वांछील तो ते लाभो प्राणी जात वर्षते सकळ मंगळी ईश्वर निष्ठांची मांड्याळी अणवरती भूमंडळी भेटतो तया होता चला कल्पतरूंचे आरव चेतना चिंतामणींचे गाव बोलते जे अर्णव पीयूषांचे चंद्रमेजे अलांछन मार्तंड जे तापहीन ते सर्वाही सदा सज्जन सोयरे होतो किंबहुना सर्वसुखी पूर्ण होणी ती लोकी भजिजोई आदि पुरुखी अखंडित आणि ग्रंथोपजीविये विशेषी लोकी ये दृष्टादृष्ट विजय होवा बीजी हेथ म्हणे श्री विश्वेश्वरा हा होईल दान फसाव येणे वरे ज्ञानदेव सुखिया झाला येणे वरे ज्ञानदेव सुखिया झाला. And we announce that the program is ended. Thank you everyone for joining. Thank you. And I request all of you to please come ahead. We will take a group